Hello, 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 everybody. Getting set up here for you guys. Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody is good. The chat is open. If you are on and you want to say hello, that's fine. Anytime you want to interject, you're very welcome to do so. Just getting set up. For those of you that are brand new to my page, just getting started here. So, what we're going to be doing today, today's the new moon, everybody. Today is the new moon. What an interesting moon this is going to be because we've got not only that new moon going on, we've got some conjunctions, some squaring, and I'll explain all that here in a minute. But it is a new moon, and it is actually a very powerful new moon. You hear a lot of astrologers say that, though, when we do get a new moon or a full moon. But this one has so many different planets that are going on. We'll go into that. However, so let's get started. For those of you that are coming in, thank you for popping in and saying hello and watching this really interesting channel. But the other thing too is that if you know somebody who didn't get to watch it, I am recording it. I will have it up live or have the recording up for you. And if you are watching any of your readings, you might want to go through your readings and check if they're actually in play with what the new moon is doing. Actually, I'll be going through the new moon all the way until the full moon. All right. So, what we're going to talk about originally, new moon. And if you looked at the thumbnail, we're going to talk about 1111. What those meanings, a lot of people want to know what the number one, they keep seeing 1111111. What does that all mean? We're going to talk about that at the very end because today is 11 and I'm doing it 11 for a certain reason. And I'll share that at the very end. I am just going to check my status. I'm trying to make sure everything's running smooth. So let's get started. And hopefully, as people come in, don't, again, be afraid to ask questions or say hello or anything like that. So new moon, we're actually in Aquarius. Okay. And with that new moon, we have not only the Aquarius or the new moon, but it's actually conjoined with the sun. They're sort of passing each other. Then on top of that, we have Venus and Jupiter squaring. Now, if you hear me say square, all that means is they're squaring. Sometimes planets will pass by each other for you guys that are new. Their energies square, or if they're off in one way, it's the way that astrologers work their charts. But what it means to square is they're in conflict. So you have to imagine, if you look at the zodiac, you have different signs. They have different personalities per se. So planets, when you square them, for example, we're going to be talking about Venus versus or squaring with Jupiter. And the thing is, with squaring with Jupiter, you've got Venus, who's the love planet. You've got, all that kind of stuff going on with Jupiter. However, with Venus, Jupiter is all about expansion, sort of overreacting, over exaggerating, that kind of a thing. So you've got this one love thing, and then you've got the expansion. So you have an explosion of emotions. Not only with that, you have with like Valentine's Day coming up, you have like sort of somebody getting over too much. Like they do the flowers, they do the chocolate, they take them out, they do the over too much. That's the energy, sort of what's going to be happening from now until about the 17th. Over exaggeration of something. And it might be in love, but it might be in also something else like fighting or whatever. Because with the new moon, remember, we're in Aquarius. The new moon is all about forward movement, but it's also about, Aquarius is about intellect and individualism. And also with that forward movement, because of what's going on right now, previous with the energies in Aquarius, then we actually have a futuristic hope. There is still some hope that things are going to change for the good. Now, with anything that we do, either on Earth or in the energies out in the universe or the planets or whatever, you're going to have two aspects. You're going to have a good aspect and you're going to have a bad aspect, however you want to put it. But the thing is, each thing that we come into, like the sun and the moon, or Venus and Jupiter, or Saturn and Mercury, or whatever, then we have two energies. So you sort of have to have good part of it, and then you have a bad part of it. So for this new moon energy, the good part of it is actually the sweetness of Venus coming into the act. So love, there's going to be an energy of warmth, of good feelings, and those kind of things. But still, there's that little bit of overdoing. So we got to really pay attention to that. And then the difficult part of the new moon is actually the conflict. So we want to hold on to things that we really need to be letting go. Now that energy right there is sort of been what's been going on since 2021. We started this in January talking about how we need to let go, how we're in a purge and a reset, and how we're trying to actually get rid of past things, past energies, past baggage, past exes, past bad habits, and relieve those and leave those in 2020 and to move forward in 2021. This is the new moon energy as well, guys, and the planets that are going on. However, many just want to hang on, and you're carrying that big ball and chain into 2021 as well. All right. So what you want to do is release. This is a time to release. This new moon energy is, we're getting ready for the spring equinox. So sorry, I'm trying to sit because I got a light and it's hitting me sort of funny. It's giving that donut, kind of a thing. But anyway, so the new moon, along with Venus and Jupiter. Now we're still in the Mercury retrograde. I'll explain that later. But Mercury's moving really, really fast, about 2 degrees a day. So the thing is that you really want to understand that the potential of your imagination, everything that you want to grow and start, is happening, because it's sort of like getting a garden ready. You have to cultivate it. You have to make sure the weeds are out. You've got to make sure there's nutrients in the ground. That is this time with this new moon. We're getting ready for the spring equinox. So this is a time of energies that the planets and everything that are moving are actually getting us prepared. We're planting the seed of what we want to attract in the future or have in the future. We cannot do that, however, with that difficult negative energy of hanging on to whatever it is that is holding us back or being destructive to our life, or things that we just need to let go of. Because a lot of people, that's fear. A lot of people do not want to let go because of that. One of the other things with this new moon, and from now until the full moon is, and for this year, is that Saturn and Uranus together, they square, is our major theme of the year. So what that means is when these two planets square up, it's the old and then sort of the new. So we are still purging. And Saturn and Uranus, I think it's 3 times this year squares. So we have this internal, this is not only external, what's happening in the world, of our world changing and never going to be the same. It is our internal struggle with ourself, our struggle with the old, trying to find a way to maneuver our life internally with the new. So we struggle with that. Not only do we struggle that as humans, but we struggle that as a full planet, because humans are one that doesn't like to have a lot of change, put it that way, or most signs don't like a lot of change. So that's the theme of the year, guys. Not only with that, with the Hierophant this year, and those of you that are coming into this not knowing what Hierophant is, this we're talking about astrology stuff. But however, when we look at the Hierophant, which is a card that I do in my readings or have in my reading, is a spiritual. There's a lot of a spiritual awakening this year. There's a lot of spiritual questioning this year, especially with the new moon, with Saturn, Uranus. And this new moon is all about that energy. So the Hierophant is the highest of high tarot cards that speaks of our spiritual being. And when that card shows up, it's questioning what we believe in. Why do we believe in it? And a lot of people are on the fence. That's a lot of hoo-hoo. That's a lot of craziness. and that kind of a thing. Same with astrology and with the new moon and all these planets. People are like, yeah, right. Well, if you don't believe in astrology or whatever it is, but the thing is, let me ask you this. If you don't believe in astrology and we're talking about planets and they're sure right on, I don't get surprised with anything anymore because I have been watching the planets now for quite a while and learning, but the thing is they're right on. And you're like, yeah, whatever. However, let me ask you this. How many of you guys either know of the ocean or even studied in high school or junior high or whatever, and your science teacher was talking to you about tides? The ocean tides. Tides come in, tides come out. Tides come in, tides come out. Okay, why? Where does that happen? Why does that happen? It happens because of the way that the moon is in alignment with the earth. It's energy. That's all anything is energy. And that's what the planets portray, and that's what the planets and it depends on how fast a planet is moving forward, backwards. In retrograde, we got Mercury in retrograde, which I hate Mercury in retrograde because it creates a lot of anxiety. It creates a lot of anguish, just like before a new moon or full moon, and just like after. And what I mean by that with this new moon, usually about 3 days, 4 days before a new moon or full moon, and 3 to 4 days after, you're going to get agitated. You're going to get anxious, and you're not going to know why, or you get into little fights a little bit more. Don't know why. Well, it happens to do with these energies, just like the tides. So the energies of the moon and what they're passing by and all that kind of stuff, it creates a high tide, low tide, creates a higher tide, lower tide. Same with our bodies, same with any type of energy. All right. So we're in a Mercury retrograde. Not only do we have the new moon energies with the sun, we have Venus squaring with Jupiter, but Mercury's in retrograde, which means it's a mess. And it's really important to really understand yourself internally, because this is a really hard time, a very conflicting time, because we need to begin to plant seeds. Unfortunately, some people don't know where their garden even is to plant a seed. So that's the internal work that you have to figure out for yourself. What do I want to do in 2021? Where do I want to go in 2021? What are my goals in 2021? Who do I want to be with in 2021? Those are the things that need to be answered now so that you can actually plant those and then begin to have the law of attraction. What we put off, we will get. What we want, we will obtain. And it's very, very true. These laws of attraction really, really work. Okay. So, and if you don't know how to do that, for those of you just tuning in, I do intuitive coaching, spiritual coaching, life balance coaching, and health coaching. So if any of this doesn't resonate or you have questions, it is free to ask any questions at all. The information is down below, or you can like, share, subscribe. If you subscribe and hit the bell, you'll know when I'm on, and you'll see when my videos come up in teaching spiritual growth and teaching intuitiveness and things like this. So you can go ahead and go on there, but don't ever hesitate not to ask me a question. I'm here free for you to grow. That's the whole reason. Oh crap. So a lot of you guys know me. I'm a little wacky, but crazy. Sorry, my battery was going dead. Not mine, but anyway. So, okay, so we're going to move up to the 17th because there is all these energies from the 11th to the 17th. That's what's going to happen. Plant your seeds, people. Plant them. No, this is the time to go internally to whatever conflict you've got going on right now. This is the time, because there's futuristic hope with Aquarius. It's forward movement with Aquarius. It's independent, it's intellectual, but it's a time for you to actually figure out what it is. This is the time to begin to reset. We talk a lot in the beginning of the year about purge and reset, or purge and a new birth, or purge and whatever. This is now, we're beginning to reset. Don't get me wrong, we're not done with 2020 energies. We still got a lot of crap hanging on. That's the Capricorn, people wanting that ball and chain to take with them rather than letting it go. I'll tell you from one-on-one experience, if you release some of the crap, toxicity, and the things that are holding you down, you will fly faster and have whatever you want more quicker. And I'm talking about not only internally, but through this whole world as well. Because if you hold yourself back, you're limiting all your abilities, your success, your things that were meant for you in the future. So for those of you taking notes, on the 17th, Saturn is going to square with Uranus. Here's the big thing about that day, though. It conjuncts with the moon. When the moon conjuncts, it will also conjunct with 4 other planets. This is huge. This is really, really huge because it's the beginning of a new I can't even talk today, astrological phase, and we're moving into Pisces. So it's going to square with Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and the Sun. So what does that mean to you and I? It means really intense. And that's going to happen for the 17th and 18th. So whatever you do on these 2 days, really just sort of step back and say, if it's you're arguing or if you're getting into something you don't want to get into, step back, because that intensity is only going to rise. When you've got 6 planets conjoining and going all over the place with each other, then there's a lot of conflict. And that doesn't just stay up in space, it stays down here too within ourselves. So if you've been feeling really agitated this month, it's not only because of the moons and getting ready for the spring equinox and moving forward into getting ready to get rid of the Mercury retrograde, which is a sucker with energies, and it creates fights and anxiety and agitation and all that kind of stuff. That's ending. Yay! Finally. So just remember this day on February 17th, and that's why when I said earlier in the very beginning that Saturn and Uranus is the theme of the month, it's going to be an intense year. Because as I shared with you in some of your readings, we are in like having a baby. We're in the birth canal where the contractions happen and the baby's getting ready to come out. This is where we're at in the world and within ourselves, is that we're being pushed and pulled and stretched to our limits. And that's the contraction. And then when the release comes, we make that little forward movement, the Aquarian movement. And that could be your internal struggle. That could be things you're working on, things that you need to release and let go, heal. A lot of people need to heal. And then that contraction goes, and then oh yeah, okay, now I'm getting it a little bit. Oh yeah, you know what? I don't need that ex anymore. I don't need that person in my life anymore. Yeah, I'm going to block them. Don't need them anymore. And it's not that you don't need them. You've grown to the point where they were important at a certain time in your life, and then you have to release them and let go because they're not doing anything justice for you for your growth in your future. So a lot of things we hang on to, we need to let go. And that's why I ask some of you when I do my readings, how many pieces of luggage are you taking with you to your new journey? I want to say, cut the cord, drop them all off, and let them go and keep moving forward. So that's just sort of this energy for the whole 2021. Okay, so on the 18th, again, that's when we start a new astrological month of Pisces. Okay, and that's where the Capricorn and everything in the old ways begin to sort of melt and step back a little bit. And that gives us time to get ready for the spring equinox. So it's sort of like a be still time. This is a time where, okay, this is a time where I'm given. So what am I going to do in it? I'm going to sit on my butt and play games and do nothing? Or am I going to be proactive for my future and what I want in 2021, let alone 22, 23, 24, whatever you want? Or am I going to, get up and start doing stuff, planting the seeds, making sure the garden is ready? I use the garden scenario a lot, guys, a lot, because it's such a good scenario to use. Sometimes I go to cars because a lot of my viewers are guys. So, but sometimes I go to the garden because the thing is that we really are beginning to start to move in that rebirth. The baby, once it gets out, you're done. Then whatever you've grown, whatever you have put the law of attraction forward, whatever you have put out, and people, I know you keep asking me about love. So if you want love, you got to be the love that you want. So if you want, success in finances, you got to be due diligent in figuring out what it is. If you don't have a plan or a goal, how are you going to be successful? Law of attraction. So that's what it's about for the rest of this month anyway, until the energies change. But there is a lot going on in this. So on the 18th, for you taking notes, the old is beginning to sort of melt away a little bit. It's not going away because we're still in the birthing canal. We're in the beginning of the birthing canal, and those contractions hurt. Let me tell you, I know firsthand, 23 flipping hours of contractions. All right. So again, the 19th, we got a couple things going on there. Venus squares Mars and blah, 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 but it's not that big of a thing. The next big thing is, for those who taking notes, is February 20th. Now, February 20th is the time that Mercury begins to finish its retrograde. Let's get the balls out. Let's get the bells. Let's get the fireworks and everything out. Because a lot of people do not realize how havoc Mercury retrograde is. Because when we're in a retrograde, that, for those of you who don't even know what a retrograde is, okay, so when a planet begins to move forward, okay, it's moving in the forward. It's in a direct, is what they call it. But when a planet begins to slow down and almost stop, and then it reverses, that's a retrograde. It's at least showing that it's going backwards, right? When it does that and it's slow, really slow, when I talk about a planet moving really slow, that means that those energies are so powerful. That's Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde moves really, really, really slow. We're talking months sometimes. Last year it was horribly long. But when it does that, those energies are really, really strong. Well, Mercury is the freaking planet that makes all the animosity and anger and frustration come to a hypersensitive level. So if you guys have been arguing a lot with your lovers, then that's probably what it was. So it's coming to an end on the 20th. Okay. We also, again, have Venus squaring Mars. Now, Venus, of course, is the love planet. However, and we got Valentine's Day coming up. So remember, that's going to be if somebody's coming at you overabundant, let them, because that's just the energies of the planet. If they want to bring you flowers and chocolates and whatever, and you guys out there, if she comes at you with all the 90s and all that kind of stuff, let her. But that's the over thing of the planet. But Venus, she can be a bear. She's like me, a Virgo. She can be a bear. She can be a warrior. And when she is that warrior with Mars, it's like you've got a little bit of because Mars can be the reverse. Now, Mars is normally the warrior, but Mars can turn around and be a lover. So you've got two planets really wanting the same energies. However, they fight each other a little bit. So you could go to the extreme with Venus and Mars and be, beautiful relationship, like I said, with Valentine's Day. But the thing is, the opposite side of that, remember I said there's always good and bad? The opposite side of that is that the energy could be overreactive in being judgmental of your values, judgmental of your ego, judgmentals of who you are. So if you guys are finding that conflict rather in the bad part, diffuse and walk away so that you guys don't say things or do things that you shouldn't. That's February 20th. Mercury doesn't want to go out quietly, put it that way. And that's what's happening because Venus and Mars are squaring on that same day. So now you got Venus not wanting to go out. Then you got also Venus and Mars wanting to conflict. So you're either going to love all night long, all day long, or you're going to be arguing all day long. So whatever on that. All right. So the last couple of things I'm going to go on is, actually, I'm just going to go to the end of the month because we'll hit the new moon. We're going to hit the 11/11 and then we'll go on to the reading. So Venus on the 25th leaves and goes from Aquarius into Aries. High anxiety again, a lot of high anxiety stuff. The only other thing I'll say is that on the 24th, when Mars moves into Taurus, you can have a energy, and if you're feeling this way, if you're coming across somebody this way, is especially the 24th, 25th, they're actually going to be like, I don't know, just came in my head, ride or die. They're so adamant about doing something. It doesn't matter what anybody says, doesn't matter how anybody talks or thinks or whatever. They're on a mission. They're going to get it done. Doesn't matter. They'll die doing it. That's the energy for that. And that can be a really good energy, or it can actually be a really detrimental energy, especially if it's in a relationship. It's like you gotta, in a relationship or any friendship or family or boss, you have a perspective and another person's perspective. You gotta let them have it to understand it. And if you don't, then you're actually you're not communicating well, and you're not going to be able to understand each other well, because my perspective is not your perspective. And so I need to be open enough to listen to that other person's perspective, because I need to understand why they're thinking what they're thinking. And then once I do that, then that energy, I can either accept it or deny it. So if I'm having an argument about, you didn't call me last night and you told me you were going to call me at 7, why didn't you do that? And now I'm sitting there thinking, oh, you just blew me off. You just stood me up, or whatever that, in my perspective, that's what I'm thinking. Could be twisted, people, could be twisted. Most of us are. However, that person might have said, hey, my car broke down and I got a message. I had to be at the hospital, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, oh, then you put your foot in your mouth. Done that many a times. So this is the thing that I've learned over the years. You have to step back and understand their perspective before you jump to conclusions. I know somebody's watching that I used to do that all the time, right? Anyway, so we won't go into the full moon. We'll do that for later. The overall energy, though, I'm going to say for this whole thing is it's accumulation. It's accumulation to help you to be able to move forward, but you got to let go of that past. You got to let go of the old. That is this theme, not only for this month, but for 2021. What is it that you're hanging on to that is no longer doing you any service, or is holding you back from your goals and your dreams? What is it? Is it a bad habit? Is it something that you're prioritizing incorrectly? Or is it someone? Could be toxic. Could be somebody toxic in your life. All right. So those are something about that. Now, for those of you that are really curious, before we go into a reading, because some people don't like the reading, some people like the astrology part, some people like the reading part. So before we go into that, this is the curious part that everybody asks about. Pat, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Numerology has been around for thousands of years. In fact, even the wise men used it. Wise men that you believe in the Christmas story, the 3 wise men, well, there was a lot more wise men than we think. However, they were very much into astrology and astronomy and things of that nature. And so the thing is that they were also, everything is done in numerology, in science, for thousands and thousands of years. Hey, Alexis, I'm doing good. Yep, I'm going to be doing readings here in just about 2 seconds. 2 seconds. No, that's fine. But a lot of people are curious about the 1111, and people are like, what are you talking about, Pat? Well, sometimes if you see the number 1 and that keeps repeating itself, like, you'll see 1, 1, or then you'll see 1, 1, 1, 1. And things like that, then you're like, what does that mean? What does that mean? Or somebody will say, I've seen it so much today and all week long. That's all I see is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I'm going to tell you. You ready? Don't have to have a piece of paper, pencil for this. This is pretty easy. But numerology, if you look at the number 1111, it's the number 1. And it's just being repeated. That's what it means. Now, in numerology, and you're going to find out in people that study this stuff in spirituality, they actually have very varying reasons for this. You can either have more of a scientific reason. You can have more of Okay, so yeah, okay, so this is going to help you a lot right here. So you can go through the scientific reason, you can go through the more spiritual reason. So you can go through the earth reason, or you can go through the spirit, which is divine, creator, the universe, whatever it is to you. To me, it's God. I call it God because I just know him. I like all you guys know who've watched me. My abilities keep growing and growing. And it's been since a child. I just suppressed them. I didn't talk about them because you know what? I was in a different mindset where I cared what other people said, what they thought about me. But this is who I am. This is who God made me. This is who God to help others. That's why this channel is here, to help others through my abilities. And that's why I do tarot differently, because it's not through the cards so much, it's through what divine or who is coming through will tell me what to say about the cards, what's going on with you, and to help your life. So 111 is just the number 1 repeated. So, well, what does that mean? Well, when you see the number 1 just by itself, it's like, okay, it's validating a new beginning. It's also telling you what you're thinking currently. And some people will do a log. You'll do a log and you'll see like Alexis, you're seeing it over and over and over again. So when you see that, so if you look at 1111, those are all added up to the number 12. Okay. And that turns again, or I'm going to 333, excuse me. Those, if you add them all up, it still is 1. So when you see it 1, it's not that big of a deal. It's like, hey, trying to get your attention. So the energies or divine or whoever you believe in that is guiding you, I hope it's not Satan or a low vibrational energy, because this is the highest vibrational energy that you can get, frequency, decibels, whatever you want to call it, out in the universe. And this is probably one of the energies they use a lot for like satellites and things like that, because it is the highest vibrational energy ever. And that would be a Hierophant energy, which is a spiritual energy. And that's why you see a lot of spiritual people use it. So what it means is whatever you're thinking at that time that you see this, and whatever energies you're putting out, whatever you're emitting or manifesting at that moment. I mean, you could stop your work and say, okay, what was I thinking about? What was I talking about? What was I doing about? Because at that moment, if it's just the number 1, it's saying, hey, pay attention to what you're thinking about in an area of your life that will bring you to the best vibrations of your life ever. Okay. Now, if you see 1111, now I don't know where I would see 111111, but the more you see the numbers, the more intense it is to tell you exactly you need to be focusing in on this. We're trying to get your attention to move you forward in a positive field. Whatever this is, focus in on it at this moment. So if you're thinking, a lot of people ask me about love. So if you're thinking about a certain person and you're questioning, should I keep moving forward with this? Should I stop it? And you're suddenly seeing 1111, what you're thinking about is what you're going to project. So if you're thinking, oh, wow, I really love this person, I really want this person, and boom, 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 1111, then you're projecting that love out. It's the law of attraction. What you're projecting out, you're going to get back. So if you're thinking about this person, man, I really need to break up with this person, I really need to stop doing this to myself, this is crazy, then you're going to project that and it's going to end. Because this is the highest vibrational energy. Again, it's about law of attraction. Whatever you want at that moment. So if you're thinking about your future in school or in your job or career, and those are popping up that day, I'd be jotting them down, because it is a time to shift. Something needs to shift for a new beginning. Something new. And this is the reason why it's a high vibrational energy and a spiritual energy, because it's to bring us to our highest level of understanding of not only ourselves, but our goal, but our spiritual awakening. It's a spiritual awakening number. So this is to say, okay, I really need, it's that intuition on overload, on explosion. It's like, if you get this, like, yeah, I shouldn't be doing that. That's just that 1111 is saying, boom, don't do it. It's yelling at you. It's screaming at you. Don't do it. But a lot of people go ahead and do it. Then they wonder why. You guys are thinking earth brain rather than spiritual energy brain. Very different, very different. I used to live earth. Everything used to be earth. I have so much peace in any storm that I have right now. This is what I'm talking about. We got to work on 11111 if you're seeing it. Law of attraction, positive, 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 high vibration, high vibration, high vibration. All right. So new beginnings, it's going to motivate you to get going in the right direction, motivating you to a higher level in your self-being, motivating you to the best person that you can be. So that's the number 1111. Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much, Alexis. All right. Thank you. So that's a really thing to keep moving forward. I could go through all the numbers if you wanted me to, but somebody can comment that if they do, because it gets, numerology actually is sort of boring, but it's actually very interesting once you figure all that stuff out. Right? So that is really cool. And so the reason why some people ask, I had somebody ask me this week, that we're working on my YouTube channel because it's still pretty new and they don't know anything about what I do. And they're like, well, why should I watch you over another YouTube channel? What I do, tarot. What do I do? So why should I watch your tarot over, are these upside down? Okay, that's not good. What over your or somebody else's channel? Well, what it is most, I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to do a video on this because he had said you need to do a video on this because a lot of people don't even know who you are or what you do. So my YouTube channel for tarot is extremely different because I use the cards. However, my information is directly from divine or whoever he's sending through. Now, it could be my mom, it could be your mom, it could be whoever he's sending me through for the wisdom. I don't go by earthly knowledge. I go by spiritual wisdom. That's number one. That is where it all comes from. The cards are a tool. Anybody can read tarot. However, tarot is not about the card. It's about the energy of the person who is reading it. How high of a level spiritually are they? How high of a level vibration are they? I am not top, but I'm pretty far up there. But the thing is, it's not only that. With my tarot also, I do numerology and astrology. I incorporate all three because it's really important. We are energy. We are energy. That's why we say we're all in this together. We are all connected. We are. That's the whole thing is. And so when you put not only the divine, which is the number one, that's where we got to go. But you put planets in there because he created them, or we say he or she or whatever. But the divine is energy, period. And we'll never understand with our brain how that works. But we also put in numerology because all these are combined for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. That's why my tarot is different. And so a lot of people don't do that. And some people only know how to read the cards by memorization, not putting anybody down about their tarot. However, some people just read it and then they go out and take a lot of people's money. I don't do that. I don't do that. This is all free to everybody unless you want a one-on-one coaching to grow yourself, or to have a life balance coaching, or to have a one-on-one so I can see you, get your energies, be together and do that. I don't steal people's money, put it that way. I just don't. Divine would shut me down. So what we're going to do here for those that are brand new, I'm doing a past energy. Now this whole month, the energy, the divine has been really, really focusing on how your decisions are made and your choices are made. He had me do the video. So if you go to my playlist, you can see if your life isn't going right. And then there's one, is it really love? I don't do these videos. He asked me to do them and then he guides as I do these. So this is for somebody out there. So your past energies, as far as the way you make your decisions, your choices and things are not on track. And the way I say that is they're a little bit, I don't want to say twisted because I don't like that word, but you're off track a little bit. because your wealth, now wealth can mean money, wealth can be health, wealth can be your family, wealth can be, and you're just not happy. You're not happy, you're not joyful, it's not there. And the reason is because of the way that you've been making your choices and decisions through your past life. Doesn't mean it has to happen anymore. You could start today, plant that seed like the garden, like they're talking about. However, you have to start. So if you even resonate at all about, yeah, I'm not really happy, I'm not really joyful, I'm not really getting what I want out of life, I'm not making the money that I want out of life, that is your past. That's the Capricorn energy. That is the previous new moon energy. That is where it needs to begin to change now. So if you're taking notes, that is taking the old away and starting the new. Mystery. Life is a mystery, but again, if you look at this, is it this one? No. The arrow is supposed to be pointing forward. So the mystery is, which way are you going to go? Divine is saying, which path are you going to take? It's a mystery because we're given free will. All right. And the reason we're given free will is we're energy. We can choose and do whatever we want. However, a lot of people, when they're choosing this mystery, this is where you're going to be working probably in this next week. If you haven't read your reading yet, I'm going to be doing more readings this afternoon. I have a life coach. Actually, it's a intuitive coach and life coach one at 1 o'clock. And then after that, if you guys want to see live readings, I'll be doing that this afternoon. I think who am I doing this afternoon? I'm doing Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So if you're one of those signs, you can actually come and see that. So, so this is where you're going to be moving forward and you're actually trying to figure it out. So the mystery is, how am I going to figure this out with this new moon energy? How am I going to create something that is going to lift me up, take me forward, be joyful, be happy? And you know what? I'll tell you right now, from not only experience, because I'm a lot older than some of you guys, is that the thing is that when you make your decisions, I can tell you right now, if you want to live a life on a roller coaster and you're unhappy, you're happy, you're unhappy, you're happy, I'll tell you right now that you're living a life of earth-bound thought process, this thing right here. If you want joy, peace, whatever, when you're doing your struggles, your trials, your tribulations, whatever you want to call it, or whenever the hard times hit and when the challenges hit, but you're still at peace, do you want that? You can have it. I used to be all of this, but right now, spiritually, and the reason why, how you can make your decisions is based on, if you make your decisions and choices based on spiritual process, spiritual thinking, you will become a very different person, a very joyful person, a very drama-free person. You won't have drama people around you. You won't have all this conflict because you'll walk away from it, because you will realize that that is not important and they do not understand. And you will walk away peace and calm, and nothing will really ruffle your feathers. You're going to get surprised, but you're not going to get shocked anymore. And the reason why is because your mindset is very different. And that's why I talk in Get Balanced 2020, the life balance coaching. We start with spirit, then mind, then the mind tells the body what to do. I would say 90% of the people on this earth do think from their head because everything else is making choices and decisions. So you're going by what you see, what's going on around your world, what has to happen, rather than going to the spirit first. So you're starting here from earth, then you're going to spirit, and then you hear that little intuition thing saying, well, you probably shouldn't do that. But your head is so stuck in this that you're actually going to go with what your head says and screw that, what he says, I'm going to do this because this is what I want, not what I should do. And that's where the decision making gets broken. If the little voice is saying, I wouldn't do that, then you need to listen to it and back off, because you can't see. Because the divine and anything we do works in two-dimensional, the seen and the unseen. So this is what it's all about, the seen and the unseen. And so most of you make the choices out of what you can see, what you can touch, what's tangible, and all that kind of stuff. But if you would turn it and flip it and listen to what your heart is saying and what you know is true for you and your journey, your life would turn 180. And if you want to say I'm full of crap, go right ahead. I've lived it. I've witnessed it. I help people through it and watch their life transform 180. But that's okay. Anyway, all right. So future energy for this next week, next couple of weeks, yes, is about synchronistic events. The Raven. Raven is extremely smart, very, very much I can't remember. She's I forgot what energy is she is. However, synchronistic events is the dots to dots to dots connecting. There's nothing coincidental in life. Like you'll see the word luck, you'll see all that kind of a stuff. And the thing is that there is no luck because everything that you touch in your life has been placed there for the moment or for a long time for either a lesson for you to grow from or for you to teach a lesson to somebody else. End of story. We're here to help each other, and that's where that is. All right. So what is it, the choices and everything that you're going to make? Somebody is going to have a complete turnaround in their life. With the first card out, we have the Six of Wands. Wands are all about communication. Somebody is actually going to begin to want to change. Somebody's going to, I was just told you, somebody's going to get off the fence. Somebody is going to get off the fence. Because, oh, wow, look at this. I can't make this stuff up. I really can't. Don't ask me how the divine does this. I don't know how he does this. Even my daughter's like, it is so eerie what you do, Mom. It's so crazy. She goes, but you're right on. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So we have the Six of Wands. We have the Seven of Wands. Then we have the 10 of Wands. Now, if you're new to tarot, the wands are a lot about communication. A lot, mostly, and about also too the things that we do in our life as far as moving forward. So the first card out is the Six of Wands, which means is the very first card, which is the biggest energy that you would actually have a victory. So somebody is actually going to move forward. They're going to get an aha moment before the next full moon. Like, I think I know what she's talking about. I think I might be getting on track. And so somebody's doing that, but somebody really doesn't want to let go. Remember I said you got to purge the past, got to let go. Somebody's really fighting it. And you know what? You're holding your own burden down. You're carrying it. You're trying to carry everything. You're trying to carry everything. So it gets really, really heavy. Somebody's carrying such a heavy burden based on the decisions and choices that they made from the past. That was what the divine's talking about. All right. So this needs to be released for somebody. For another person, this is I don't know if this resonates with you. However, the first energy that we have coming out is a change. I'm wondering if we're going to see the Tower. Whoa. Okay. So a lot of wands. Oh my gosh. It's all wands, one sword and one cup. For those of you who are new, I'm going to do a video on sort of what it all means and stuff like that, because it's very confusing if you really don't understand it. So the thing is that we've got two energies going. One is like, I got this. I got this energy. I heard, I got this. I got this. So this is where you're going to actually begin the process. Somebody is really ready to plant the seed to change their life. And get a better life. Somebody's ready. Other person isn't. However, we have the Page of Swords facing the 10 of Wands. There is an energy that wants to release and get rid of the shit in their life and the burdens and the hassles, the drama. Somebody's family has drama written all over it, and you're like, I am just so sick and tired of this. Can I just please leave? That's the energy I'm getting. However, they can't let go because they keep looking back, and they're too afraid to move forward. They're too afraid to move forward. Fear will hold probably 90% of the people back from actually where they are supposed to go and where they're supposed to be. Again, you're still looking for your future. Somebody is really focused on the future. Again, that's this energy here. this brand new energy. You're focused, you're ready to go. I'm ready. It's like saddling up the horse. It's like getting the horse ready and you're ready to attack. And then all of a sudden you're thinking about the future. You're ready to get on that horse and jet. Okay. For those of you that are new, I've been in horses all my life, so you'll hear me use horse in the garden scenario a lot. So but there is something missing. You feel like something is completely missing in your life. That's an earth thing. That is such an earth thing. And once you start thinking more spiritually minded from your heart and doing some internal work, some internal healing, a lot of it has to do with healing, guys. A lot of it, because everybody's been broken, everybody's been hurt, everybody has had stuff that was unfair in their life, but that's a healing thing, and you're going to always feel like something is missing if you don't do the work, as we talk about shadow work. All right. Shadow work is just another term for inner child work, inner work. No, too many cards. Sorry, guys. Too many cards. Okay. All right. I can do these. So we have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Three of Pentacles. And again, the Ten of Wands. Somebody's really, or maybe some of you are just, again, this new moon energy. It's an overactive energy, is very burdened. Okay, so instead of being very Venus, sexually or overloved or all that, you're feeling overburdened, overtired, over it. So we've got that energy. But remember, the number 10 is about finalizing. The number 10, even though it's the number 1 with the number 0, it means that it's finalizing. Something is ending. Something needs to go and finish. And when you can do that, then that releases the burden. Sort of like release the Kraken. Let her get her stuff out, and then everything sort of settles down. Okay, but we have the Page of Pentacles. There's some power here. Now, this is a powerful new moon. So there is power in all this. Somebody is ready to change and learn. So the Knight of, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how long this was. I try to keep them at 45 minutes, guys. But sometimes divine takes over and I just have to say what he wants me to say. So the thing is that the Knight of Cups is about learning. Now, it could be you learning something. It could be somebody teaching you, or you're teaching somebody. Like if you're in a position where, even at work, if you're in a management position, you have to teach somebody, and then maybe that person has to go and teach another coworker or that kind of a thing. But it also means that it's coming. So something is coming. This is also a life lesson for somebody. This is a life lesson that something is coming that is going to sort of slap you in the face and say, hey, wake up, because you're not getting it. And now is the time to learn. So that's some other energy. All right. So I'll finish off with one more oracle, one more last oracle. And that is going to be for the universe. Well, this is all the universe, but I usually finalize up with the universe, a main focus for the universe energy, which is, watch, it'll probably be the old and the new. It's called about purge and reset, baby. We're all in a purge and reset right now. Oh, wow. Thanks. That wasn't even funny. Oh, that was sweet. That was sweet. Encouragement. And it's the number 9. So 9 is all about intensity. Intensity of encouraging others, encouraging yourself to keep moving forward, to keep lifting that vibrational energy up. Whenever you feel like you're being pulled like taffy, I can see the taffy machine. I don't know why they bring this visual into me. I don't know why they do that. However, when I see the taffy being pulled, stretched thin, remember, when it gets done and it's cut and it's settled and it gets a little bit harder, it is so yummy and sweet. So we have to go through this process of pain, of healing, of all this, and sometimes we have to dredge it up. And I don't know why he had me use this week, but it's sort of like when our toilet backs up after we've gone potty in it and it's yucky. But this is almost like the whole sewage plant. We have to get all that out so that the garden can grow and be beautiful. Because if we don't, then we're going to have weeds, we're going to have rocks, we're going to have glass, we're going to have all this stuff that's going to hinder the plant from growing. That's what people are doing in their life. They're allowing toxicity, they're allowing bad habits, they're allowing things into their body that they shouldn't, things like that. So whenever you hear somebody in the next few weeks or yourself, do things to lift your vibration up. Do things to help another smile, laugh, joke, release that. However, if they say they want to do something destructive, they're basically stuffing and becoming numb, that is not something to support. That is something definitely not to encourage, because they can't grow from that. They're just stuffing their feelings, whatever's happened to them as a child or in their past, or whatever was not done, or what was done unfairly. You've got to heal the pain to grow. And that's what this whole energy of this new moon is about. And that's what we need to do to be doing that with everybody else. So I hope this has helped you guys. It's so packed. I couldn't even unpack the whole thing, but I hope that was something that you could take away, and maybe it resonates with you or not. But I will say, in all my teaching and coaching that I do on the side for people, it is a lot to do with your choices of and decisions of what you want for your wealth. And ask somebody, what do you think wealth is to you? 9 times out of 10 people say money. That is not all the wealth there is. Most of the wealth is unseen. It's love, it's kindness, it's respect, it's sharing, it's loving, it's giving, it's receiving. That is wealth and success. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you take care. Now, I am going to do some readings here. So if you have Leo, Sag, and Aries in your signs, then I will be starting out with Leo here in about, well, I don't even know what time it is, at 11, probably in about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. All right? Take care. Thank you. Now, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And please, if you see that this resonates with anything of you or somebody you know, share it. Sometimes maybe you don't think that it's going to help, but to somebody else it might. So, and don't forget to go to the playlists for the videos for if your life isn't turning out right. I can't remember what I named it because the divine just picked the name. And then is it really love? Now that's all the different love levels. It teaches you all about what love is and how the different levels of love and where you are at in your love relationship. Take care. Have a great week.